We are here testing the mics to ensure that everybody from Facebook and YouTube are actually getting this feed live and they can hear me properly and clearly. We'll be starting in the next 3 minutes, and today's one is going to come a bit different. It's going to give you a little homework that you will really love and that you would actually start thinking about the session we're going to have next week on my birthday on the 18th of July. Testing. We are doing great. I need to open the chat session for any follow-up questions. We'll be starting in 2 minutes. I always just like getting in like 3 minutes, at least 5 minutes before, just so that if there's any technical difficulties, we always just pick them up beforehand. So whoever just arrives, you can just say hello, and then wave or say something or do something. Yeah. Let's give 1 more minute. Let's give 1 more minute. And we will be starting in a few seconds. I'm just ensuring that we distribute of this. So it looks like I didn't create. Sure. I just had myself back on YouTube. That's good. It means that we are audible and everybody else can hear me. Anyways, I'm always the person who always starts on time, and other people will find us on the way. And in today's session, we will look at something quite different. We won't show any application, we won't show any technology, we'll just show the framework that actually gives the goal structure. I'll be sharing a screen very soon. But before I do that, I should maybe just introduce myself again to those who don't know me. Hi, everybody. My name is Andy, and I like to call myself Mr. Cater. I grew up in Limpopo with very close to my late grandpa, and that is where most of my philosophies and most of my principles comes from. And today's session, we will be looking at something interesting. So I'm going to share a specific window, and this window will have our presentation, which is good. I think you should be able to see it from the other side. And where it starts, it's on page 1. We are actually saying you should stop tracking results and start tracking effort. I mean, You would probably ask yourself what is effort and obviously what is results. Results is what you would like to get after you have done something, and effort is actually the energy or the time. I always quantify it as time that you put for you to get that result. So the biggest mistake or the biggest issue that many people do is they start just looking for the results and track how far they are from the results without having to track how much effort they are putting towards that set results or goals. So the philosophy here is just put efforts first and track that. And maybe just a highlight, this is a continuation of a very interesting series that I've been running on Instagram and TikTok and as well as Facebook, where I'm sharing my shorts about how I am tracking my effort on things or goals that matter for me every day for the past 67 days. I actually stopped measuring success, not because success does not matter, but success in many cases is just like a one time thing that comes and then you sort of need to move on together. Think about when, let's say, you're at school. Success comes at probably the end of the year when you have finally passed. Yes, there is smaller success, maybe per term when you pass this term, and there are those kind of things. And if you only then start measuring only the successes, then the likelihood is that you are only going to measure four successes or five successes within the year. But that doesn't give you granular information of what is really happening on the ground. It just gives you this is where I'm at and this is where I'm going. So when you stop measuring success and you start measuring goals, you start seeing a different view of how your life is composed. So this is what I've picked up, right? A result can make you feel like nothing is happening. Because, like I said, in the example of measuring how many times you've passed and all those kind of things, you only measure five times. And the gaps between the measurement and the time you are putting on a day to day sometimes feels very long. But effort shows you the truth earlier, quicker, and it will actually tell you whether you're even showing up, whether you're even learning or getting better, and giving the goal an actual real chance. Because sometimes, if things are very far from you, you probably might just give up or maybe might not even see where you could be and what you could get better at. So this is my 67-day experience experiment. It hasn't stopped, by the way. I'm actually going to stop it on the 18th of July on the workshop that we're going to have, the Goal Lab. So in my 67 days experience, I started tracking what I can actually control. For example, the time, the lessons, and the next action that I need to do. If we are to take one of my most important goals that I had was exercise and actually having enjoyment. Yes, enjoyment, either going to spend time with my family or just going to spend time with myself or just going to spend time doing any other thing that I really enjoy outside the important things or quote unquote the important things that we do. So then I started tracking what I can actually control, which is how much time am I putting into this goal of going to the gym. And the lessons I would start putting is like, okay, from today's session, by the way, I keep my sessions at like 15 minutes minimum, and that is it. If it's less, sure, but I sort of just keep it at 15 minutes. I don't understand the idea of going to the gym for the whole hour. But again, I started tracking time and I started tracking the lessons that I got from the session that I have put on that particular day. For example, if maybe I was doing push ups like this, instead of maybe putting my hands inside a little bit, then I could be like, okay, the body felt a bit more heavier, and then and then just put it down. So basically, kind of journaling it as I'm tracking time that I've put towards that journal. And as well, I would then just say, okay, tomorrow this is what I will get to do better. And this is how I'm gonna look forward to the next day. Very simple framework and a very repeatable way of doing anything or any goal that matter to you. So the scoreboard actually changed, by the way. So it was, if you'd like to think about it, it's as simple as going to say, I have a book. Um, this is an actual book, by the way. For those who are coming to the event, you would definitely get a copy of you for you, right? I would start paying more attention on these 67 days when I'll be like, okay, I mean, if we were to do a literal thing, you probably won't see anything. I would just ask myself, how much or how many hours did I spend? Let's just say I spent 30 minutes today, not an hour. Perfect. How many lessons did I get, and what were those lessons? Lesson number one, I think I don't know, what are biceps? I don't know. It just came in my mind. But yeah, I think the lesson number one was that my hands were a bit outward than actually inward when I was doing the exercise. Well, I'm using the exercise thing because it's sort of much more relatable. That otherwise I could have then maybe come up with something around coding, which is what I do, and software engineering. And then the third one is like, okay, what were the mistakes that I picked up when I was doing that? And that question prompts something else different. It prompts, what can I be looking forward to the next day? What can I make better the next day that I didn't make better yesterday, a day before, and the day before? And that is, by the way, a very good exercise of you building towards something that's going to be successful. Because you're only successful if your framework looks like this. You did something the first day, and then on the third or fifth day, you probably got better, or you removed other clutter or things that you couldn't do right in that regard. And again, then the time invested became the evidence. It's like, okay, I've put in 30 minutes and I showed up, and that's it. This was nothing like likes, this was nothing like applauses. This is not perfect outcomes. There's no pressure at all. I don't believe in pressure. I believe in inflicting pressure myself from what I have consumed and what I've gotten to control. This is just proof that I kept on showing up. That scorecard, remember? And I actually learned faster when I started pretending like every day was a win. I mean, I've seen so many people. You ask them something, and they try to sort of cover up. Oh, everything is pretty well, man. I really like it, and no, forget about that. You can do that maybe to win other deals or do whatever the things may be or whatever, but I don't believe in that system, more especially if you're doing a goal that is there to enrich you or make you better or make you be successful for yourself, because you can only cover it up for a shorter or a certain number of times or amount of time until it actually becomes much more boring and maybe evident that you are not really showing up or not really winning. So then I started picking up things like, patterns. I could see what I kept repeating, right or wrong, energy, and I could see what I was forcing. So it's like maybe on a Thursday or Friday, you probably just a bit, the energy is not that high. So you would see the time and all those other things going up to say, okay, the whole time I was spending like an hour or 2 hours. Then this time it's like 15 minutes. Sometimes it might not even pitch up or go. That's it. It happens. And again, you would also then start seeing what are you really focusing on in your life, because there is so much things that you can focus on or that could take your attention, but there's so little things that you really have to focus on, and you would never know unless otherwise you go with this framework that I'm telling you, where you list out the things that really matters. You actually get to know how much time you're spending, because apparently the only thing you have is actually the time. And then I started seeing as well, obviously, the reality, like I just said now, to say, oh, okay, this is what's happening and this is how it is. Instead of going to online for somebody else to tell me, hey, Andy, you need to do this for 45 minutes and then exercise for 3 hours. Well, cool, cool. But this is me. I have my own parameters. Maybe the guy I was telling me is living in the most coldest area and they could exercise longer. I don't know. I'm coming from Limpopo. It's 42 degrees, but I can't be exercising for 3 hours. So there was those things that I started picking up and those patterns that I started picking up about myself. And by default, that just made me much stronger and much more capable to win and get this success that I was looking for. I still got things wrong, by the way. But now the mistakes had a place to go. It's not just I'm ashamed or I'm quitting or hey, it doesn't feel like I'm moving and whatever, whatever. No, no, no. I wrote it down like feedback. It's like, hey, this is feedback to myself and I would like to get better at this. Think about yourself when you go to, let's say, a restaurant or when you go to maybe somebody didn't talk to you well. What do you do? What's the first thing that you do? Do you just stop talking to them? No, you probably give them feedback. Hey, I think you raised a voice in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 manner and I didn't appreciate it. So then why don't you do the very same thing for yourself? But instead, the easiest way for people is just feel shame and then you just start quitting. But the right way, you should just be giving yourself what? Feedback. Again, you're just doing this for you by you. So, how does this whole effort thing comes into place? I would like you to start imagining if you could see the effort you're putting towards anything. You keep on telling yourself, hey, I want to get the degree. I want to get that job. I want to get fit. I want to spend a bit more time with my family. I want to get that. And a simple thing as I just want to be there for myself. And you just say, oh, no, well, um, uh, uh, I don't get time, or people don't give me time on this and that and that and that. But if you start tracking the actual effort of how much time or how much effort you're actually putting to try be there for yourself, to try do things for yourself, and to try making things that builds up to the goal for yourself. Imagine what you could start saying. Imagine what you could start feeling or getting. Again, I'm not going to show you the app today. I thought I was going to show you a glimpse of it, but there's so much that changed, and there's so much I would like to see for you to see on the 18th of July, either for those who are coming in for the in-person session or those who will be watching us online. I'll be having a very bigger team, by the way, that's going to be handling all these kind of things, the online stuff, the event, all those things. So we will be announcing even the sponsors and the speakers soon before the session ends. But today, this is what I want to sort of give you. This is what 9 days before the 18th of July, 100%. And this is your actual personal strategy board of that will give you a better system to actually set goals and see efforts before the actual success that you get. This is a simple way to see the goal before you actually just start chasing it. The framework is quite simple. Write this down, by the way. Write this down and make sure you keep at it. Write it down, write it down. The framework is that write down the dream you have for yourself. I'm not going to tell you the dream that you have for yourself. Just think about it for yourself. Like, I mean, the dream, there's nothing wrong, by the way, on having a dream to drive a Maserati or a Bentley or a very big house or a very big farm or whatever that you have. If you want to buy, I don't know, a masterpiece or something like that, what is that dream for yourself? That looks very far, probably like 2 years or 5 years or 10 years. Sometimes it might even look like it's not even going to be possible in life. You can just say it and write it down. And after you've written that dream, ask yourself, from the things that I'm doing today or from the things that you have been doing before today or until this moment, what is actually working? If you are the person who actually can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you have been doing that consistently, write that down. If you're the person that can stay up while everybody's sleeping and you're doing something that you love and you just stay at it, write that down. If you are quite disciplined, write that down because that is something that is working today. Or if you just have something or anything else, I mean, whatever that's working, if your phone is the one that's working, anything in your life, think of it and tell me what is working and actually just write it down. And the third one is ask yourself then, okay, with what's working, what are the things or some other things that you feel like are a friction and the things that are stopping you? I don't want to give you so much on this. I want us to just do it. And then you ask yourself, what are some of the risks? And then the risks being, okay, if I would want to get this dream, the risk is maybe getting arrested or something like that, right? Because I mean, there is different ways to get to your dreams. And then from there, just write one goal and write the number of hours that you would like to put on that goal per week. Again, do not fill it all in today, or you could just fill it, have it to, start making you think for the next session that we're going to have on the 18th of July. For those who are coming in, you will definitely see more of this. And yeah, that's that. I think the last thing that I would like to sort of then put out there is that we finally have four speakers that are going to be talking in this session. And definitely one of them is going to be me, because I mean, there's no way I can't talk on my own session. And you can see them here. It's going to be me. I'm a coach and an engineer, or at least I like to call myself a coach and an engineer. And we're going to have also Mukondleteri, I should change the name there, is a tech and a businessman from Angola. And as well as we will have Kio. These two people here in the middle, we actually got to feature them on the Communicator Chats episodes that we have on YouTube. So you can just go watch them before the actual session, but they'll be sharing a very different point of view of your goals in this workshop. And we're also going to have a brother of mine, DNA Nechitunguru. He's in health and he's going to be talking about also health and finances. Not to mention our greatest sponsors, which is TMD Photography. This is a photography and video company based in Centurion and Midrand, and obviously travel around the whole of South Africa, taking photographs and videos, and they'll be doing that for us on the day. This is Angular. It's owned by Mukondli. This is a language learning app that you can use to learn any language in South Africa. And as well, we have Collabora Hub. This is owned by Muphurusi Nafare, who is also our event planner. So all the things you'll be seeing on the event, things that are being built up to this event, they are actually being looked up after by the owner of this company. and obviously Keita, which is me. Okay. And for that, there's already 6 people. I'm not sure if I should take in a few questions. We only have 8 minutes. So if you have any questions or you need any, um, if you need any clarifications or anything we can, um, you might need to be answered before the session, please do let me know. Otherwise, if you'd like to sort of repeat this session that we just did today, be free to just go and then check it on our YouTube and as well as our Facebook. There is definitely a lot you will get from there. Otherwise, I'll stay in here for the next, let's just say 30 minutes. If there's any questions, maybe just pop them through. I should just go to my Facebook. Maybe if there's any questions, we should be seeing them. If you are watching us from France, drop a like and just say hi and say maybe one thing that you're loving about this so far. Or maybe say something that you is motivating you to, you know, spending a day with us on the 18th of July, because I definitely know most of the people who are already here, they've signed up and they've bought their own tickets and they would like to spend a wonderful birthday with me. I hope I opened the sessions, the chat sessions. So welcome to the live chat. Let's test this one. Testing. 1, 2. Good. I'm starting to see a lot of loves coming in. So I guess maybe I did good justice to the session. But anyways, this is a very good warm-up session. This is session 2, and I call it the pre-live of an actual event that we will have on the 18th of July. The session will consist of me and a bunch of my great friends in different career paths, in different professions, in different business structures, and they're going to be sharing some great lessons of how they set their own goals in the way that made it success, and definitely going to give you a good framework to make sure that you can apply that into your own, and you will definitely get a lot, and a lot more value. Anyways, oh, questions are reserved for the 18th. Okay, we would like to stay a bit more mysterious, I guess. And the people on the 18th, they will definitely talk on the lessons that they got on everybody's behalf. Anyways, if you want a ticket, go to check it out on Quicket, and then you will get yourself a very good ticket. We only have like, I think 3. That's what I was told before this session, that we only have 3 tickets left for an in-person session. Anyone who's going to buy after that 3 is going to only get an online seat. Again, this is a very good chance to network with me, network with some of my great friends, and as well network with other people in this world, and we will then be able to do great things and build great networks. Otherwise, thank you very much for this wonderful session. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on the 18th of July on my birthday, and we're gonna have a blast. Appreciate it. Nda.